This game has a stamina bar? Whoa, whoa, whoa. This game has rolling now? Whoa, whoa. The potion? Oh my god. Look at this, guys. This game has a great sword. That's it. I'm calling him. Hello, Quantum? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to copyright claim this right now.
You know, because you're good at that stuff.
At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man.
Now, I think it's fair to say these days the word Souls-like holds as much weight as the term good game does to Ubisoft. Anything under the sun that gets game journalists to use more than 2 buttons on a controller warrants the term Souls-like these days. Just this year alone, we had around 5 Souls-like games released, plus the Lies of P DLC, not to mention the announcements for next year. If there was ever an idea that existed at any point in time, humans on Earth have created a Souls-like for that. We've got Indian Souls-like, Berserk Souls-like, Penguin Souls-like, Berserk Souls-like, Twitter Freak Souls-like, Anime Souls-like, Freaky Tentacle Sex Souls-like, Ninja Souls-like. Oh, and did I mention Berserk Souls-like? There are an endless amount of Souls-like games. It makes you wonder, is this genre turning into the new hero shooter genre? Yeah, personally, I am a fan of this genre because being good at this genre is one of the most notable achievements of my life ever. But I think the problem we are seeing with this genre right now is that a lot of gamers are complaining about how oversaturated it is, and it's getting kind of exhausting seeing another Souls-like announcement. And I think part of the reason for that is because a lot of the Souls-like that come out, these ideas don't really warrant a Souls-like game like the One Piece IP. That's something that works extremely well with the Musou genre, and they made 4 of those games. Even action fighting genre could work with those games, but as a Souls game, it'd be kind of weird. Like, what the hell's the gameplay gonna be like? It doesn't make sense for that type of world to have a Souls-like game. And there are so many games like these that are just Souls because that's the most popular genre at the moment, not because the developers really want to make a Souls-like game. Because when they do, you can tell they actually care about the important parts of what makes a Souls game fun. And while that may be true to an extent, I think it's also the Souls community fatiguing themselves from the genre. You see, the Souls games are games that test you very hard, and completing them makes you feel like you've earned a badge of honor that you can parade around in the Souls community. Like the other day, I had a door-to-door phone data salesman come up to my door, and because game recognizes game, he knew I was a Souls gamer. It's in these bad boys. He asked me if I played Elden Ring and whether I beat it or not. And I was like, yeah, bro, a long time ago. Where have you been, dude? It was 2024 at the time, so I'd beaten the game around 3 times, okay? Screw that guy, I was trying to save his face. Couldn't even beat it once. But he replies with, damn, that's crazy, dude. What the hell? You're a cool gamer. And I'm like, and in that moment, I felt like a man that was capable and had something going for him in life, you know? And that's what I mean. I think because these games are so tough and known to be tough, the people in the Souls community want to be able to say, oh yeah, I beat that game. They don't want to be the guy who hasn't played X game. And I get it. But at the same time, how would that not be fatiguing? You know, constantly keeping up. It's like a rat race for Souls games. God, I need a life. Having to make sure you've played every major Souls-like game that comes out, even the not so popular but kind of good hidden gems, can be fatiguing. Especially since not all Souls-likes are built equally. This is not to say that there aren't any Souls-like that are inherently fatiguing. The Souls combat requires you to be on full ass-clenching levels of alert.
No! What the fuck?
And this can create a really intense and adrenaline-inducing experience, but the good games in this genre also know to balance the ass-clenching combat experiences with more peaceful exploration. More peaceful, okay? I didn't say peaceful completely. And many Souls-likes tend to neglect one aspect, which isn't always bad if it's done with intention so that they can focus their resources on one aspect and make that really good. But if you play these not so well-balanced games back to back, it's like going into math class, straight into English, straight into physics. I think most of the Souls-like fatigue sentiment is usually coming from people who started the Souls series before Elden Ring even came out. Because when Elden Ring came out, it put the genre on the map. You know, people who didn't refer to a beautiful sunny day as, damn, today has good graphics, were also talking about Elden Ring. And I think that was the turning point for the genre. Before, people kind of still knew about the genre, but it was more like, okay, those are some games that psychos play, right? Normal people can't access that. But then when Elden Ring came onto the map, it made it a lot more accessible to more people. And now you have people with families who have families playing the game. The genre used to be a lot less saturated, and because the gameplay mechanics are so addicting, you just wanted to consume every single single game in the genre. But these days, the genre is completely changed. There are so many Souls-like games now because it's so much more popular. You can hang your jersey every now and then, all right? There is one thing that kind of concerns me. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to go over the gist of it. Lies of P recently got an update where they released difficulty options for their Souls-like game. Now, the conversation about difficulty options in Souls game is done a lot, I know. But what I wanted to say now was that how much of a change between the difficulty options is an acceptable amount of change. The mechanics of the genre itself are what makes it challenging. You really think you can dodge this by going on easy mode? Look, she's still going. You can't dodge that. So even if you turn down the difficulty, the only thing you can really change without considerably changing the mechanics itself would be the parry timing window, dodge roll iframes, damage received, and damage dealt. But even with those changes, the difficulty of the game remains the same. The only thing that would change is that you would die less, which, fine, but to actually beat the boss, you also have to attack and learn when to attack. And that requires you to learn timing, positioning, and all that stuff, which is what makes those games hard. And you know, dying less still makes it better, but does it really make it that much easier? I get the argument for difficulty options. It could get people who are afraid of Souls-like games because of the difficulty to try out the game. But then, even if your damage received is lesser or the damage dealt is higher, you're still going to face the mechanics of the game as it is. They can't really change that too drastically or it becomes a separate game. That's why even on Reddit posts about the Lies of P difficulty options, there are a lot of people still saying it feels too hard on the easiest difficulty option. So now, does that mean we make it easier further? You know, we accommodate these guys as well who suck at the easiest difficulty option? But then what do we change now? Because we've already changed the damage received to be as little as this. So now what do we change? The way the boss moves? How long it takes for him to swing? That's a whole different boss then. And I think if we do accommodate those people as well and widen the audience, that's gonna cause even more Souls fatigue. Because there's gonna be more people making more Souls games and then we're gonna get more shit with the crap. But you know, let me know what you guys think about that. And I just wanted to say on September 3rd, it will be a full year of making content on this channel. And my goal for the first year of this channel was to reach 1,000 subs somehow. And I didn't think I was going to get that close. At first, I was a little cocky. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get 100K in the first year. What the hell, dude? After a month, I was like, oof. Yeah, I'll settle for 1,000. But we didn't get there. But dang, we're close. Look at this. That's crazy. I mean, I'll take it. Thank you guys so much. Really, I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.